We've all been there, right? You decide you're going to get your finances in order, you download a shiny new budgeting app, and you feel great. For a few weeks, then suddenly you're right back where you started, feeling like you failed. But what if the problem isn't you? What if the tool itself is kind of built to fail?
It always starts with that awesome feeling of a fresh start. You find a slick-looking app, connect your accounts, and you get this little spark of optimism. You're thinking, okay, this is the one. This time I'm really going to get a handle on things.
And for a little while, it really does feel great. The charts look so clean, all your spending gets sorted into these perfect little categories, and every purchase feels, intentional. There's a real sense of calm that comes from just seeing it all laid out like that. But then, well, life happens. An unexpected car repair hits, you have a crazy busy month at work, and suddenly those little notifications from the app start to get ignored. Updating the categories feels like a total chore. The system doesn't crash and burn, it just sort of quietly fades away.
And when we look back on it, what's the first thing we think? I failed. We tell ourselves, I'm just not disciplined enough, or I can never stick with anything. We turn it into this big personal, moral failure. But here's the thing. That conclusion is just plain wrong.
Let's get this straight. You didn't fail. The app and the entire philosophy behind these apps failed you. They're all built on a huge misunderstanding of how money, and frankly how human beings actually work. And this gets to the absolute core of the issue. Most apps are built on one single assumption, that your money troubles are an information problem. They think if they just show you all the data, you'll magically start making perfect, rational choices. But the reality? Money is a system problem, all tangled up in the messy, complicated systems of our actual lives.
So because they think it's all about information, what features do they give you? Tracking, categorization, alerts, dashboards. See the pattern? Everything is designed just to make things visible. But here's the catch. Just seeing the problem doesn't give you control over it. Awareness doesn't automatically fix the deep-down structure.
So to really understand why this whole approach falls flat, we need to zoom out and look at the actual system these apps are trying to operate in. Turns out, your financial life is kind of built in layers. Think of it like a building. At the very bottom, you have the foundation, your constraints like your income and your fixed bills. Above that, you have the structure, your big life decisions like where you live or what car you drive. Then come your daily behaviors, the small stuff. And right at the top, the part everyone sees are the outcomes, the number in your bank account. Now, here is the absolute kicker. Where do you think these budgeting apps focus all their attention? Right here, on the most superficial layer, your daily behaviors. They are obsessed with tracking your coffee purchases, but they do absolutely nothing to touch the deeper structures, the big decisions and constraints that are actually driving those behaviors in the first place. And this creates a hidden cost we don't talk about: decision fatigue. Instead of making your life simpler, the app actually adds another layer of mental work. Every notification is something you have to process. Every transaction is a micro-decision. Pretty soon, the tool that was supposed to relieve stress becomes a source of it. So what happens when real life gets hard? We all do this. We instinctively start dropping the tasks that require the most willpower. And that budgeting app, the one that needs your constant, focused attention to even function, yeah, that's one of the first things to go. Not because it's useless, but because it demands too much from you when you have the least to give. This all leads us right into what I like to call the discipline trap. It's that nagging idea that if you just tried harder, if you just had more willpower, everything would work out. But relying on discipline alone is like building a house on sand. There's this quote that just nails it perfectly. A system that requires discipline to function is already fragile. Let that sink in for a second. The flaw isn't in your willpower, it's baked right into the system's design from the very beginning.
Because let's be honest, discipline is a finite resource, right? It runs out when you're tired or stressed. It doesn't scale up to handle more complexity in your life. And when it fails silently. It just disappears. Just like that app you stopped opening. It is not a reliable foundation for anything important.
So if these apps are the wrong solution, what's the right way to think about this? It all starts by completely reframing what we think these tools are even for.
This is the key shift in perspective you have to make. An app isn't the pilot of your financial life. It's the instrument panel. It's a fantastic diagnostic tool that can tell you what's happening, but it is not the control system itself. When you see them this way, you can appreciate what they're truly good for. They are excellent at showing you patterns in your spending, especially in the short term.
They can help you spot obvious leaks and get a handle on things when life is relatively calm. They help you diagnose the issue. They aren't the cure.
And this reframe changes the entire question we should be asking. For years, the question has always been, which budgeting app is the best? Which one has the coolest features?
But that is the wrong question. The real, far more powerful question is this: what happens to my finances by default? What happens when I'm busy, when I'm stressed, and I'm not actively managing anything? The answer to that question reveals the true strength of your financial system.
And here's the ultimate takeaway. A truly valuable tool isn't one that demands more of your attention. It's one that helps you build a better system. A system with better defaults, one that requires less attention over time because it works for you even when you're not looking.
This channel explains money, artificial intelligence, and decision-making as interconnected systems. No hype, no gurus, no personal branding. New videos weekly.